Okay guys, let's continue our video by talking about break and continue commands. In C programming, the break and the continue commands are used in loops. Break stops the loop completely when a certain condition is met, just like leaving a game early. On the other hand, continue is a command that skips the rest of the loop for that round or for a particular iteration and goes to the next iteration, which is just like making the loop to skip a particular turn but continues after that turn. Both help control the flow of the program, making it more efficient and easier to manage. Now let's see an example that shows the difference between the break and the continue commands in loops. I will start by writing a for loop that initializes I to 1 and runs while I is less than or equal to 5. Now inside this loop, I am going to simply display or print the value of I. Remember that I is an integer and that's why we are using the %z format specifier. Now let's first run this program to be sure that the loop works. So we can see all our numbers being displayed from 1 to 5. Now inside my loop, I am going to use a break command somewhere before the line where we are printing the value of I. So I will write a conditional statement that checks when the value of I is 3 in particular, and when I reaches 3, we are going to exit the loop using the break command. So I will write if my I is equal to 3, and note that when you want to use the equal to sign or symbol for comparison, you need to write it double like this, because if you say I equals 3 with just one equal to sign, it will mean you are trying to initialize the value 3 to I, but which is not what we want to do. We just want to compare if I and 3 are same. In that case, we use the equal to symbol 2 times, or we double it. So we are checking if I is equal to 3, and if this condition is true, we are going to simply break or exit the loop. So inside the body of my if condition, I will write the keyword break, all in lowercase characters and with a semicolon at the end. So by just writing break, it is going to automatically exit our loop, meaning that once I is equal to 3, we are going to exit the loop and nothing in the loop is going to be done again. So even to continue printing the numbers isn't going to be done. Here we can see only the numbers 1 and 2 are displayed, because as soon as the value of I reaches 3, we exit or stop the loop completely, because we have written break inside our loop at the level where I becomes 3. Now let's change break to continue to see the difference between break and continue. So if I is equal to 3, I am going to rather write continue this time around. Now when we write continue, it is not going to exit the loop completely once I becomes 3, but what will happen is that it is going to display the first two numbers 1 and 2, and then once I reaches 3, we will simply skip this iteration, meaning that we will skip the round of printing 3 only, but we will continue after 3 with 4 and 5. So we can see we have the numbers displayed 1, 2, 4 and 5. Notice that 3 has been skipped because at the level of 3, we wrote the continue keyword to skip the loop at that level. And usually when you want to make sure to break or continue from a given point in your program only, or once a given condition is met, you will need to usually use a conditional operation such as the if, where I'm checking the condition I is equal to 3 like this. Because if you just write, let's say if you don't check any condition and you just write break, you will notice that when you write break like this, it is simply going to exit the whole loop without ever printing anything even, because when you write without checking any condition, it means this applies for all the iterations of the loop. And in the same way, if you also write just continue, it is never going to print anything because you are not checking any particular value. You are simply saying continue for all and every iteration. So you will need to usually check a condition before writing this. So that is the difference between the break and the continue commands in C programming.